you wasted on her. Every little past frustration. Take all of your so-called problems. Better put them in quotations. Say what you need to say. 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 Oh, say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Walking like a one-man army, fighting with the shadows in your head, living out the same old moment, knowing you'd be better off instead if you could only say what you need to say. 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 Oh, say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Oh, say what you need to say. Have no fear for giving in. Have no fear for giving over. You better know that in the end it's better to say too much than never have to say what you need to say again. Even if your hands are shaking and your faith is broken, even as the eyes are closing, do it with a heart wide open. Yeah, yeah. Say what you need to say. 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 Say what you need to. Say what you need to. Say what you need to say. Oh, say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Oh, say what you need to say. 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 The announcements. Singing the announcements.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Excellent. I am the announcement lady, so let's get to this. Next Saturday, we have a dance workshop going on from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And it's a wonderful woman from one of the Calgary centers. And rhythm and coordination are optional. So yes, it's a fabulous workshop, and they've done it out west, and rave reviews. It's release of. I would read it, but the lighting is really bad, and I don't have my glasses. There we go. Zero dance ability required. Coordination is optional. Here comes a pair of glasses. Oh, open heart and a beginner's mind are essential. What do you get when you ask your body a question and then move and listen for the answer? A dancer. D''answer. Very clever. So that is next Saturday. $25 is the fee. So you can register in the bookstore. So come and have a good time with that. New classes are starting In November, November 5th, we have the Essential Ernest Holmes. That will be Wednesdays at 7 o'clock with Rev. Jonathan. And November 9th, Science of Mind 102 is beginning, and that's Sundays at 1 p.m. after service. Register in the bookstore or register online. You can drop into those classes. Drop-in fee is $25. I've mentioned a fundraising event in the past, the Billy Joel and Elton John music concert by the fabulous Canadian theatre people. Rumor has it that is sold out. Yes, we get a percentage of the ticket sales. They can link to it from our website, yes? Yes. If you think there may be a chance you can get a ticket, you're more than welcome to go online through our website. There is a coupon code, Crocodile, which will get you through purchase tickets, and we get a little percentage of the ticket price. But again, might be sold out, and I hope it is, because it'll be wonderful. The holiday gala coming up. Woohoo! Am I allowed to say the title, or is that a secret? How to be successful at Christmas without really trying. It will be Thursday, December 4th, and Friday, December 5th. Tony sent us the script the other day, and we're having a read through this evening. So it should be silly and funny and perhaps inappropriate at times. Everything that makes for a good show. I also saw something in the bookstore about signing up for sponsorship. Shall I talk about that now or wait for another time for that? Ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
One of the things that makes our holiday gala a success is through sponsorship, and it was very successful to have people sign up to be sponsors for the event. So we're doing that again this year. There's a sign up in the bookstore to sign up for sponsorship. Basically, what that entitles you to is a lovely tax deduction, because all of your contributions are tax deductible because we are a registered charity through the government. So we encourage you to take a look at that. And please help us out by sponsoring this event so that we can make sure it's an incredible event. One of the things that I want to point out is that our event was so successful last year, we've decided to have it over the course of 2 nights this coming year. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more about that. Tickets are not yet on sale, but will be very soon, I promise. And it is going to be incredible and fun. And I get to, so I'm gonna let one little secret out of the bag. Tanis and I get to play partners. We'll leave that to your imagination. All right,
Okay.
continue.
Carry on. You won't be over there for long. The conference. Conference, you have 5.5 days left to purchase your early bird admission price tickets for the New Thought Conference. We just bought our tickets moments ago, so we're in, we're good. Price goes up to the full $550 next Saturday. If you purchase today or anytime this week, you will save $150 on the full access pass. That's a come and go as you choose. Pay in the gift shop, and you can also pay online, but if you pay in person, you save the $10 online registration fee. And put your hands together for Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
I'm back. Yeah, so I'm going to let the cat out of the bag now too. If you're not willing to make the commitment now for the $400 it would cost you to get full access to the conference, once this Launch Our Conference special is over, we are going to be promoting a payment plan so that the price will go up, but you'll be able to pay for it over the course of 4 months. So that's another option that is going to be available to you starting on November 1st. The other thing I wanted to let you know about is Mental Muscle Extreme, which starts a week from tomorrow. Mental Muscle Extreme is taking the 16 weeks of mental muscle and doing it over the course of 6 weeks every single day. It is a 15-minute teleconference, and I am facilitating this time. You basically make a phone call, you listen to me for 15 minutes, and let that set the tone for your day. If you're not able to make the telephone call, there are ways of listening to the recording at your leisure, at your convenience. So you're doing the other program right now, right? Yes, it's very convenient to be able to go on and listen to that recording whenever you want, right? Whenever you want. So I encourage you all, it's only $50. Go to globaltruthnetwork.com and you can sign up for it there. I guess I should put a link to it from our website. Yes. The live telephone call is going to take place at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, so that it's 7:30 a.m. Pacific. But like I say, you can the recording of the call gets posted minutes later. So if you aren't able to make it at that time, you can do it at any time you like.
Are we allowed to ask questions as you're talking on the phone?
No. No, part of it is you're listening to the directive for the day. The way that you correspond and interact with me as the facilitator is through the blogging process. So I will put up a blog. You get to respond with whatever's going on in your life. I read the blogs, and then the next day I address what's happening in people's lives. Isn't that different? It's a cool way to do class. I really love this method of doing class, and it's really shifting people's lives tremendously. So.
Is there homework?
Well, there's homework in that you have to follow the directives, because here's the deal. If you don't do the work, you don't get the results. That's the whole point of our teaching. Do the work, live the results. There you go.
So I've been going to the gym and just sitting there for
What have you been doing with Trainer Boy? Wow. We are descending. Let's now ascend.
Yes. Yeah, that's the inappropriate
We
stuff,
must
yeah.
ascend.
Yeah.
I want to welcome everybody to a beautiful Sunday morning. Isn't it gorgeous out? Yeah. This is really my favorite time of year, and I'm so grateful that you've all decided to join me here and join the band and join all of us here in community and celebration. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. If you're visiting us for the first time, I especially want to say hello and thank you for being here with us and bringing your consciousness to this collective consciousness, which is one of the things I'm going to be talking about today, collective consciousness. So let's launch this off with a great song. Tanis is going to lead us in Gifts of the Spirit, which is not in your songbooks, but it's kind of a call and response, so you'll follow along. It's awesome. So Tanis, take it away.
Boys, take it away.
If you feel like standing up and dancing, please.
These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive. Love, are you ready?
Are you ready?
Joy,
Joy,
are you ready?
are you ready?
And peace,
Peace,
are you ready?
are you ready?
Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive. Compassion,
Compassion,
I am ready.
I am ready.
Forgiveness,
Forgiveness,
I am ready.
I am ready.
Oh, and laughter,
Laughter,
I am ready.
I am ready.
I am ready to receive. And passion,
Passion,
I am ready.
I am ready.
Success,
Yes,
I am ready.
I am ready.
And abundance,
Abundance,
I am ready.
I am ready.
I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive. These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive all of the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, I am ready to receive.
you ready to receive?
Yes.
I am ready to receive. I'm ready to receive the wonderful, enlightening wisdom of our practitioner here to this morning, practitioner intern. I want to talk just briefly about practitioners. We had a board meeting yesterday, and one of the things that got brought up in the board meeting is this idea. If you are new to this philosophy, if you're new to the center, when we say that we have a practitioner who's going to join us, you probably have no idea what we're talking about. What a practitioner is, basically, is a spiritual coach. And we present our practitioners up here to coach you through some bit of wisdom that they are sharing for that day. They are also available for you to work with one-on-one if you like, and you can do that by contacting the center. You can also have what we call a 1-minute miracle following service by talking to any one of our practitioners or practitioner interns. So what I would like to do is anyone who is a practitioner or a practitioner intern to please stand up and make yourself known so that we can see who you are. And people, now you know who you can talk to. So if you're experiencing anything in your life, please talk to them about it, and they will be able to bring clarity around that subject. Thank you all so much. So here to share with us her beautiful, inspired, and beautifully, what's the word I'm looking for? Individualized wisdom, which is the truth. We are all individualizing divine wisdom and calling it our own. And here to do that for us this morning is our wonderful practitioner intern of the day. Please welcome to the lectern, Shah-Rose Morali.
Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Good morning. Good morning to everyone over here and online. And I just want you to know it's a privilege to stand here, to spend this few minutes with you, sharing my experience of a relationship with God, with what God is, who I am, and how I feel as this individualized expression of God. So thank you very much. Okay, I don't know about you. Jonathan has reeled off a number of things in our announcement that's happening already in our lives. And it's fall, the leaves are falling, and we've fallen into a really busy time of the year, haven't we? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a pretty intense time, and I suspect it's the same for every single one of us, what with being embedded in a new school year, an academic year, classes, being a practitioner, hitting the floor running. We know what it's like, right? And so do each and every single one of you out there who's not a practitioner. Anyway, last week, I discovered there was a really important seminar for me to attend in Toronto. I'm a chiropractor and a psychotherapist, and this particular seminar has to do with working with the wisdom of the body. So I actually went to one seminar and found out that there was a different 2-day seminar that focused on children and adolescents. So of course, I had to sign up. I've been waiting 4 years for something in that area to come up with this particular technique. So there I was. I signed up for it, which meant I was shuffling my patients who are wonderful and accommodating, and so kindly rescheduled their appointments. So what happened was I was walking back and forth from the seminar to my clinic to accommodate their treatments as well as the seminar. So that was part of my business that was happening. And of course, there were other businesses and intensities that were happening in our city, in Canada, and in the world, as it turns out, with the events that took place in Montreal and in Ottawa. So all of that was happening in the world as I was doing this seminar, which has to do with trauma and using the body, and it's wonderful how synchronicity occurs. And the key thing about this work is that actually allowing ourselves to come to a calmness, So it's all about the nervous system and the wisdom of the body, the wisdom giving forth its fruit. So I, in my wisdom, had organized my days I, in my wisdom, had organized the day as they were. And that was great. So I was carrying on my professional duties as well as being the student. And so on Friday lunch, I decided to walk to my office. And my office is about half an hour to 40 minutes walk away from where the seminar takes place. Now, for those of you who live in Toronto, the seminar was taking place close to Yonge and Wellesley, which is downtown Toronto. And my office is northwest to that, and I decided to walk through Bay. And I mentioned this because a couple of routes to go and walk, whichever direction I was going to walk to, came up. But there was this inner voice, this inner feeling. For me, that inner voice comes in through an inner feeling. And I thought, oh, yes, I'm going to go north of Bay. I knew why, because there were good feelings associated as well. So I started walking that ways. Soon thereafter, though, I turned left, and I found myself going across Queen's Park. You know, and of course, I was aware that there was this noise of increased police presence, this, that, and the other, but I'll tell you folks, it was nice and peaceful walking through Queen's Park. There was no marked increase in any uniformed people, maybe one or two at the most, which is how it should be, because we are safe and secure over here. Everything is fine. So as I carried on my pathway, I thought, oh yes, now I want to go by the music faculty. Now, it is a busy day, I'll tell you, but I was having my fun moments as well. And I've had a wonderful experience at the music faculty this particular summer, going to their summer offerings of the chamber music as part of their festival. And it's just by the Royal Ontario Museum, and there's this beautiful a small laneway that comes onto this pathway. If people are familiar with the University of Toronto grants, we have wonderful pathways. And there was this wonderful stream, dried up stream that was full of boulders over there. I came along to this particular place and I saw a beautiful sight that made me just chuckle with joy, because there was this beautiful rounded duck shape made out of stones sitting there. And I thought, oh, a duck Inukshuk. And there was yet another one. So there were 2 or 3 of this. And finally, yes, there were a group of people there that was standing and enjoying themselves, and there was this artist, totally involved, totally present, and yet taking in everything and everyone. There was this breadth of work that was happening, and he was making these 2 Inuktitut men's, the sculptures. And that was so wonderful and heartwarming, and my heart expanded. And to me, that is the expression of love and light and divine order. So what I have for you, with all of our weeks and days unfolding in the way they have, I have for you an affirmation that goes this way. I'll say it once, and I'll invite you to repeat it twice after me. Divine order is present right here, right now, and unfolds perfectly in all areas of my life. Okay, so ready? Divine order is present right here, right now, and unfolds perfectly in all areas of my life. One more time. Divine order is present right here, right now, and unfolds perfectly in all areas of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Charose. So I'm going to invite you to take that. Perfect lead-in for what we're going to sing.
If we had piano, it'd
Oh,
be
we need
even
piano.
perfecter.
Yes.
We have no piano.
It's probably here.
All right. Sing it a cappella.
We can.
And
yes.
it would be perfect. Anyway, I'm going to invite you all to simply, while we work out the technical aspects of this, to simply breathe into this idea. All is working perfectly right in this moment. All is unfolding perfectly right in this moment. All is well right in this moment.
This is the truth. This is the infinite truth. And when we open ourselves to it, when we open ourselves up to this infinite truth flowing through us at all times, without fail, each and every one of us steps into the understanding that the divine is at work in everything we think, say, and do. That's the truth. And so we're going to sing this song of Doug LeBeau. We have no instrumentation. We don't need instrumentation.
No.
We are our own instruments.
We're unplugged.
Check
and
one,
all is
two.
well.
So we'll go unplugged. Go ahead and, just for the broadcast, would you be willing to use your microphone for the guitar? And then we'll work this. Oh, there it is.
The unfolding of the universe.
And so, there is no irony, but there is only perfection in what this song is saying. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is.
In this moment, there is only one thing happening, and that is God. God, right here, right now, being me, being each and every person in this room, being the wall, being the air, being the clock, being the mics that work and do not work. All is well. And I know that in this wellness is wholeness, in this wholeness is love and light, in this wholeness is beauty, harmony, in this wholeness is unity and multiplicity. I give thanks for knowing this and knowing that each and every person over here knows this truth in their heart, in their lives, and each person's life unfolds perfectly, gently, gathering in all that needs to be gathered in to be laid down in beautiful order and harmony as a perfect expression of their self. So for knowing this, I give thanks and I release this word into the law of mind, knowing this is perfectly done right here, right now, as I invite all of us to say, and so it is.
All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. Thank you, Charose. And thank you to the band, and thank you to the divine for ensuring that we can hear the band, especially because of what the band is offering us today, this beautiful song of Pierre Gautreau, which is very timely, and I will be talking about the timeliness factor right after this song. But please welcome with Have You Ever Wondered, Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band.
Have you ever wondered Have you ever wondered what it would be like? No guns around, the walls torn down. Peace has been found, it's a beautiful sight. Have you ever wondered what if everyone was free to choose who they love and not decided by a government's decree? Ooh. Have you ever wondered what it would be like? Have you ever wondered? It seems dreamlike. Have you ever wondered? Have you ever wondered what it would be like? No poor, no greed, no little mouths to feed, no talk of race. We are from the same place, our colliding souls playing roles. If we could only see there's more than flesh and bones to this humanity. Ooh, ooh. Have you ever wondered what it would be like? Have you ever wondered? It seems dreamlike. Have you ever wondered? I believe dreams can come true, small or grand. And there's no saying what we cannot do if we just take each other's hand. Have you ever wondered what it would be like? Have you ever wondered? It seems dreamlike. Have you ever wondered? Have you ever wondered?
Street band. Thank you. There are no mistakes. There never have been, and there never will be. There never can be mistakes because the divine is always working itself out perfectly in terms of creation, and we're the ones who block it or limit it in any particular way. That's really what I want to talk about today. It's just really fascinating to me, the idea that we have our little we call them our little gremlins in the system, right? And it brought to mind as I was sitting there, as I was thinking about, my own level of frustration, which went up in that moment. I admit it, I get frustrated sometimes. Yes, the minister does get frustrated sometimes. And it's not at anything, but just at the overall, I would like this service to unfold peacefully, naturally, easily, and effortlessly without anything seeming to be out of place. Was that meant to be today? Obviously not. So everything is flowing perfectly, even in the seeming. It's all flowing perfectly, right? So my own level of frustration, I had to sit back and go, you know what? What is my relationship to the circumstances that I am experiencing? Because that's all we're ever addressing. That's all we're ever addressing. We are faced with circumstances. Now, we do create those circumstances. We're not going to get into that whole side of the equation today. There are circumstances that are created through us, through collective conscious thinking, but we're still subject to them in our experience of them. And it's all perfect. What is our relationship when those things present themselves? So we were faced with some circumstances this week. As a country, we were faced with circumstances. I'm not really going to talk about the specifics of those circumstances because I think you all know what I'm talking about. In this country, in the country, our neighbors to the south, they were faced with some circumstances this week. One of the things, so that I am going to mention, the school shooting this week, that's the 87th school shooting since Newtown. 87 since Newtown. And I only want to say that because it is up to us as a collective consciousness in this room right here. We are the ones who can set something new in mind so that that stops. The way I intended to start today was with this, I'm going to call it a quotation, then I'm going to clarify. The quotation is this: we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Now, the reason I'm calling it a quote, and then I'm going to clarify it, is because that is usually attributed to Albert Einstein. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. So one of the things I do try to do, I don't always succeed at this, but if I'm using a quote, I usually go try and do my due diligence and make sure that the quote is actually a quote of the person that I am referencing. That is a paraphrased idea of Albert Einstein. The actual quote, which appeared in the New York Times in 1946, is this: a new type of thinking is essential if mankind is to survive and move toward higher levels. Which, quite frankly, why would they water that down? That is an infinitely better quote and an infinitely better idea of the point from which we are creating our experience. A new type of thinking is essential if mankind is to survive and move toward higher levels. Where do you want to be? In the idea of the negative, which is we can't solve those problems with the same mind that created them. No, a new type of thinking is required if we are to move ahead, if we are to evolve, if we are to take charge of our evolution as a quote-unquote race. I use that because we use the term race within this philosophy in multiple ways. And again, if you want to know about that, come to class. That quote was published in 1946 in an article that Ernest Holmes, that Albert Einstein wrote about man's destructive use of atomic energy. And the quote really has been at the forefront of my thinking this week. That idea has been at the forefront of my thinking this week, not only because of the events that are happening in the country and in the world, but also events that are happening in my own life. As I look at my association with groups, it's hard to talk around this, so I'm going to just put it out there, and I bless you all if anybody in my men's choir is watching. But there are things that are coming up in the men's choir that I'm a part of, and we're preparing to do this concert on December 13th, and all of a sudden everybody is all concerned because, oh my gosh, we're not selling tickets. And I said, well, first of all, it's December 13th, and we're still at the end of October, so relax. But the idea that we cannot move forward with the same type of thinking that has been, because they're all concerned, because they're looking at history as precedent about the sale of tickets. If we look at the history as the precedent, we will absolutely get nowhere because we are now engaged in the same thinking that got us to that place in the first place. If we are to move beyond, if we are to move toward higher levels, we must engage in a new type of thinking. So I'm frequently asked the question, as a minister, as people are experiencing the events of the world, as even within the choir, what do I do? How do we do that? See, that's the big question. We can easily say, we must have new thinking because this is new thought philosophy. But until we know how to do that, we're going to get nowhere. What can I do? The idea, though, to ask, what can I do, is actually a defeatist point of view. As if to say, there's nothing I can do. Because that's usually the energy. Well, what can we do? What can we do to fix this? Well, step away from the idea that there's nothing you can do. Because the same creative mind that created the problem in the first place is the same creative mind that offers the solution. Because there can be no problem without a solution. We only perceive problems and solutions. If we start to understand that problems are actually opportunities for some new idea to simply flow through, then we've actually opened ourselves up to the infinite possibility of what is to be. And there is one major thing that we can all do, every single one of us in this room, and I'm going to talk about the specific events of this country. There is one thing that we can do to change this world, and that is for each of us to be a leader in new thought. We must be leaders in new thought. Do not allow any power, any perception of power that is based on past thinking to have any consequence in your own mind. Let go of it. One of the things that comes up in class a lot is I always say, well, the past is the past. We should stop trying to change the past. There's nothing we can do. We cannot change the past. There it is. We cannot change the past. But what we can do is create a new future. And that all starts with the present moment and living in trust and in faith. Ernest Holmes writes this. I don't usually do quotes quite this long, and I always tell my practitioners, please don't use very long quotes. I get to break the rules because I'm the minister. Ernest Holmes writes this: if man takes his images of thought only from his previous experiences, then he continues the bondage which those previous experiences create. If we talk about discord, we shall become more discordant. The more the world arms for war, the more certain it is that there will be war. People who spend all their time thinking about their unhappiness become more unhappy. Eventually, we shall understand that all human bondage is an invention of ignorance. What is that ignorance? Ignorance is not meant to sound as though we are putting anyone down. Ignorance is simply not knowing. That's it. It's just not knowing. The minute we start beating ourselves up for not knowing, we have now defeated ourselves from the get-go in terms of creating anything new. The way that we combat not knowing is to open ourselves to the infinite. Right now, right in this moment, we are immersed in a collective conscious idea. We are immersed in it. But being immersed in it is not the same as being subject to it. We are only subject to this idea as we accept the idea. So, as you approach the understanding, as you see the things that are happening in this country, in this world, in your own life perhaps, how much of it are you accepting? How much of it are you accepting? How much of it do we subconsciously accept? That does happen. We subconsciously accept. In fact, most of the things we experience show up because of our subconscious acceptance of an idea. Because 90% of our thinking is subconscious. but 100% of our thinking creates our experience. The 10%, that conscious mind, that 10% can impress upon that 90% a new idea, and that's what we teach. As we impress upon the subconscious a new idea, something new must be born from it. That is the power that we have as individualized expressions of this divine energy. We can change this world. I say that with full faith that that is what we can do. There's nothing stopping us except our own mind. It is up to us to be on high watch in our own mind. We must be on high watch in our own mind. And what is created in our mind is always in exacting balance with our belief. What we create is in exacting balance with our belief. I'm inviting Tanis up because I just wanted, this is just a funny moment that happened this week. So I will usually, to try and coordinate the music and the message, Tanis and I will sometimes have conversations via text message. She's usually the one who initiates them and says, "Do you know what you're talking about this Sunday?" And I usually say, "I haven't a clue." This week, I initiated it. On Tuesday. I know, I was way ahead of the game. This is how our text message unfolded. I texted, "This Sunday, the infinite yes man, talking about the mathematical accuracy of the law of cause and effect."
Nerd.
Just 'cause I likes the maths?
Yep.
LOL. I wear the moniker with pride.
Maybe you can borrow Sheldon's whiteboard for your talk on Sunday. That would be karma.
Oh, the possibilities. So this is the idea. It's just one of those funny moments. And this ended up coming up in class on Wednesday night, and in the Troward class. The creative process, I have decided, can come down to essentially an algebraic equation. It is mathematical. When I make this statement, what is created is an exacting balance with our belief. What does that mean to you? Do you really, like if I say that, what does that mean to you? This is not a rhetorical question in this moment. What does that mean to you? What you create is in exacting balance with your belief. A equals B. Well, actually, A equals A, just to be clear. We are both nerds. Here's the equation. Conscious mind multiplied by subjective tendency, which is our subconscious mind, equals the form of our lives. If I'm going to quantify it, this is the way I perhaps might quantify it. In conscious mind, I am going to decide to think on this idea, 1,000. And yes, there is a reason I'm using 1,000. In the subjective mind is a variable. That is our belief. So I'm going to call that variable A. You remember this from algebra? All right. So if conscious mind times subjective tendency or subconscious mind equals form, then 1,000 times A equals 1,000A, right? So what do we do to impress upon the law the idea that we want? We have to understand what that variable is. That's our belief. So, if I'm taking the number 1,000 and my belief, the variable, is in lack, then that may be a quantifiable number such as 0.01. 1,000 times 0.01 equals 10. So what is my form going to be? 10. because that's the belief. That's what I'm talking about when I say what is created is an exacting balance with our belief. If A equals 200, I do need a whiteboard. If A equals 200, then 1,000 times 200 equals 200,000. Here's the point. Grow the variable. Increase the variable. We all have the capacity to experience the infinite, but it is limited by that variable, by our idea that we are limited in any particular way. Even to say 200 is a limitation. 1,000 times infinity equals infinity. So what is the variable in your mind? Does it tend towards lack and powerlessness? That's the question to ask today. Because what's happening in this country is we are experiencing a collective conscious idea. And that collective conscious idea is moving through us, and it is being affected by the variable, and it is showing up in our own experience to the degree that we have allowed that variable to affect the collective conscious idea. What are you allowing to be the focus of your thought? This is the how. This is the how we recreate our lives. We really get in touch with the belief system. Get in touch with that belief system. Ernest Holmes writes this: one of the great difficulties in the order of new thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. So I can talk about the equation till I'm blue in the face, and I do. Every single week, ultimately what I'm talking about is the equation, and I talk about it ad nauseum. But how are we putting it into practice? How are each and every one of us individually putting this principle into practice? We must personalize it. We must not think that we can be defeated by anything outside of ourselves. We cannot look at the events that have happened in this country this week and think that we cannot impress upon the infinite subconscious idea, a new idea that is going to transform this entire country. We personalize this practice. And really what we must do is remove the idea of any personal responsibility to the outcome. Step back from a personalized responsibility and step into the infinite responsibility, which is goodness, light, love, healing, joy, power. That's it. So let's remove from our own conscious idea right now, make the commitment that what has occurred in this country has any bearing on who we are as a country, as a community moving forward. Because the new idea, the new thought, is to impress upon your own subjective tendency the idea that we are only love. We are only peace. We are only healing power. We attract the positive by remaining positive. We attract that which we are like in mind. If you do not support an individual's sense of negativity, one of two things will happen. If you are not supporting it, either that person will move on to someone else who will support their own sense of negativity, or that person will shift their own thinking. But you are not responsible for that person, or their experience, or their thinking. You are only responsible to your own. So this is an idea of attracting into our experience only what we require and desire. If we align in negativity, we experience negativity. And everyone who shows up in our life will be some reflection of the negativity in our own mind. If we align with positivity, then exactly that will happen. We attract into our experience only positive experiences, positive people, positive community. This is how we change the world. We uphold our own mind in this conscious idea, in those attributes of the divine power: love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, joy, wisdom, harmony, infinite potentiality. The divine principle acts in exact accordance with our thought and our belief. The divine principle is the ultimate yes man. It is always saying yes to our requirement. Always. It is our own belief that sets that limit to the demonstration of a principle that is absolutely limitless. It is ready to fill everything because it is infinite, Ernest Holmes writes. It is not a question of its willingness, nor of its ability. It is entirely a question of our own receptivity. When we say yes to peace, the infinite says yes to peace. When we say yes to joy, the infinite says yes to joy. When we say yes to harmony, the infinite says yes to harmony. When we say yes, the infinite says yes. And so on, and so on, and so on, and so it is. This is the how we turn our lives around. By embodying a new thought, by embodying a new method of thinking, by embodying only the positive, by embodying only the divine principle, we automatically put ourselves on the experience of continued evolution, and we do it purposefully. This is how we step beyond the circumstances that are occurring, and we know something more deeply about them. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. Let go of the circumstances. Let go of anything we may be holding on to in order to experience the infinite flowing through us. In living this ourselves, each and every one of us, we all become leaders. We all become leaders in new thought by living the example. As we shift, as we grow, as we unfold, as the infinite expressed at our own level of individualized consciousness, we step into the new. That's the truth. The ultimate result in being the leaders in new thought is that we awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence and create a world that works for everyone. That's the truth. Namaste. Linda Visosky is going to join us for a moment to offer some of her thoughts.
Good morning, everyone. So this is the time in our service when we get to open our hearts and our minds and our pocketbooks and to offer a form of giving in the form of either a financial contribution, a tithe, to this beautiful center of ours. So as we know, money is God in action. As we give, we receive. As we receive, we give. So I would like everybody, before the baskets go around, I'd like to welcome people online. And if you would want to contribute, please go to the donate button on the right-hand side of the computer. So as the baskets go around, let's sing and dance, and let's turn to page 27 of our songbook, The Point of Power. Thank you.
2, 3, 4. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. And the point of power is in this moment now. feel grace. In this moment, I feel grace. In this moment, I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now.
So in this moment, I ask our practitioner intern of the day, Charose Morelli, to make a blessing over the offering.
This one. Thank you. A perfect gift given from the heart, from the purses. I know that each and every person who's given of their good in these baskets has given with love and light, and that their gifts will be multiplied in their lives untold times. And I know that these gifts are received with gratitude. This money, these precious gifts, is the life of the center, is the expression of our collective consciousness that expresses love and light and beauty, that expresses joyfully and knows untold bounty. So I give thanks for this, and I give thanks for the wise operation of our board. I give thanks for the intuition that is present in this community. I give thanks for knowing that only good comes of this. And so with this, I release this blessing into the law of mind, and I say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Charose.
Thanks.
You are a blessing. Each and every one of you is a blessing in my life. I'm grateful to you for bringing your consciousness to this experience today and upholding a new thought in mind as your own. So as we come to this time of conclusion of this experience, knowing that the infinite experience is always unfolding, I invite you to simply relax and breathe. Keep in mind that idea. The infinite is flowing through you. That's the truth. The infinite is expressing as you. That's the truth. We are immersed in this infinite. And to the degree that we embody it, we experience it. And so I know more and express more and expect more. And so in this, I invite you to breathe and recognize that we are each of us held in divine love. That divine love which created us, each and every one of us, from itself. I'm held in love With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 And so right here in this moment, I relax into the understanding that there is only one power, one infinite creative resource that is always unfolding in terms of greatness, in terms of our lives, for we are each of us the individualized expression of this infinite power, living its life, experiencing it as ourselves. There is no separation. There is only love and nothing else. There is only divine creativity and nothing else. There is only spirit and nothing else. And we are each of us part of it, expressing as it, embodying it. And so from this understanding, I lay claim to a new idea, a new thought that is only healing and revealing joy, light, love, peace, power, beauty. I accept only the positive aspects of a divine power as my own, living my life. And I trust that each and every one of us does the same. And recognize and know that it all unfolds according to our desire, our wish. So I give in to it, and it gives in to me. This is the truth. I am so grateful for this understanding, and I am so grateful for the active participation of it in my life and my life in it. I am grateful for everyone who celebrates this idea and who has made their presence known here today. I am so grateful for this community. I am so grateful for the musicians, Pierre Gautreau, the entire Queen Street Band. I am grateful for Jim, our board member today. I'm so grateful for Lori and Dane. I'm so grateful for Margaret Ann. I'm grateful for Alan on the sound. I'm grateful for Tony on the webcast. I'm grateful to Judy for her brilliant meditation this morning, a meditation of peace and harmony and understanding. I'm grateful for Linda and her expression. I'm grateful for Charose and the brilliant wisdom she shared with us, knowing that it has affected us in some way, and we move forward from this place with a new idea, a new thought. And so in gratitude, I simply release this word to a law that is unfolding as greatness. And in knowing this, expressing this, and allowing this, I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. So take a breath. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, holding me. God is holding me. God is holding me. And so it is. So we're going to end the day on an upbeat note with Lean On Me, which is on page 13 of your songbooks. Again, thank you all for making your presence known here and bringing your consciousness to this place this morning. I am so appreciative. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everyone.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill all of the needs that you won't let show. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road to share your load. If you just call me, just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call me